nonsensical negotiation with terrorists must be stopped. If you want to have your jihad, Nigeria would rather divide than be Islamized. We would rather break away than be Islamized. It will never happen. Go and practice your jihad and Sharia in create another nation for yourself in Arewa.
I'm pretty sure by now it's no longer a news. We all know that Sultan of Sokoto, they call us Sultan of Sokoto, but me, I call him Sultan of Sokoto. This guy is behind 80 to 90% of the Fulani buying in Nigeria because he instructed them. He's fully behind them. Before you argue with your ancestor, watch this video. In case today is your first time or coming across my video, I want to say a big thank you to you for stopping by. This is Holy Ghost Son platform, a platform that tell you undiluted truth. The Lord bless you.
I think it is high time Nigerians begin to ask the right questions. I think the reason why the situation of Nigeria has persisted this long is because we have not been asking the right questions. And until we begin to ask the right question before we begin to get the right direction.
Sure.
And when we begin to get the right direction, we can get the right result. This is not because I like to talk anyhow, or I just want to talk, but it has become a consistent act in this nation that evil will be prevailing, but righteous men will be quiet. Plateau State has recorded several terror attacks, riots and killings and invasion and all that. But there has no anyone that has been as terrible as that of 2010. The most terrifying and horrific ones is the one for 2010. Between January and March 2010, there was a riot. That was one of the most bloody riots that have happened on Plateau State. The record for that riot says between January and March of that year, that over 1,000 persons were killed. But you know that if the media tell you 1,000, know that it is not 1,000. Because media don't report the actual number of casualties.
True.
They always find a way to reduce this to avoid, causing too much panic. So if the media tell you 1,000, divide that 1,000 by 2 and add that extra 500 on top of it. About 1,500 persons were killed. But that is not the point. After that riot in 2010, the Hausa Muslim community in Jos, Plateau State, please follow me this morning. After that riot, the Hausa Muslim Fulani community in Jos wrote a letter to Sultan of Sokoto exactly on the 17th of July 2010. And what is the context of this letter? The context of this letter is because after the riot, there became a little rift, a little misunderstanding between the Hausa Muslim community and the Fulani Muslim community. Why? Because in the past, every attack that they have done in the past, they used to do it together. And they're causing problem in the city of Jos. The Hausa's community and the Fulani community, they unite to cause such terror on Plateau State. But for the one of 2010, the Hausa community did not carry the Fulani community along. Pay attention this morning. I'm speaking to the world.
Updates.
And I wanted to bear record.
Details.
But the Hausa community did not carry the Fulani community along. Because normally, if the Fulani were to cause chaos, they will inform the Hausa that they see today we are causing chaos today. Tell your people not to go out. And if it is the Hausa that are causing chaos, they will inform the Fulanis. Or they do it together. But that year, they did not inform the Fulanis. So therefore, some Fulanis went out that day with their cows and all that. And when the Hausa started the problem, in fact, it is stated on record that JNI, Jamaatul Nasrul Islam, provided them with the weapon that they used. They supplied them with the weapon. And just by supplying them with the sufficient weapon, they did not carry the Fulani Muslim community along. So they made the attack on their own. And so in the process of the riot and the killing, some Fulanis were caught on fire because they were not told before that time. And because of that, some of them were killed. Some of them, their cows were killed. And because of that, the Fulanis, after that riot, the Fulanis said, we don't want to do anything with you again. Fulani said, we will remain on our own. Let the Hausa community to remain on their own, because the catastrophe of that riot affected them very much. And so the Hausa community tried to settle the quarrel. They tried to settle that misunderstanding. They tried to plead with the Fulani Muslim community. But the Fulani community were not accepting. So because they refused to accept, the Hausa community, led by the Hausa Elders Forum in Jos, the Hausa Elder Forum in Jos, on the 17th of July 2010, wrote a letter to Sultan of Sokoto, and they said that the Sultan should please help them to talk to the Fulanis so that they can unite the way they have been uniting in the past. Because this is the time they need to remain together as one, as Muslims. And they addressed him because they said he is the Sultan of Sokoto and also Seriki Musulmai, and he should come and address the issue for them. And they mentioned that the Sultan should also remind the Fulanis that in the past, the Fulanis have caused chaos in Jos that has also affected them too, the Hausas. And that the Fulanis are also still planning more chaos in places like Jos North local government, Shao, Bisichi, Indigi, Kasa, Kamang, and all Barki local government, Shen, Dan
Well detailed.
from in Josab, Wa Ring, John in Riyom local government. All these are settlements that the Fulanis were planning to cast. So they were telling the Sultan that this thing that the Fulanis are planning to do, it will affect them to the Hausa. So therefore the Sultan should please come and mitigate and talk to them, so that the Fulanis will not go ahead and cause this chaos that will also affect them. The letter was written by one Nasiru Yahya for the chairman of the Hausa Elders Forum. But you see, that was not all. After that letter was written, I wouldn't know if the Sultan of Sokoto did anything reasonable about the case. But after that time, between July and December of that year, there were over 1,000 killings, but it was not at a riot. So what were they doing? Exactly what the Hausa community have said the Fulanis were going to do, exactly what happened. What did they do? They'll go to a village, burn the village, kill the people and move.
Jesus.
They'll go to another settlement, shoot people, kill people, burn the village and move.
Jesus.
Some they'll take over the territory, some they'll burn and move. And between that time, they caused over 1,000 killings, the Fulanis. And by December, Christmas Eve, December 2010, Boko Haram launched 4 bombs in Jos that took the life of many. And because of that, it led to several other killings, silent killings, within communities of the Christian dominated, where the Fulanis targeted Christian dominated, especially the Biron people. They targeted the Biron people, all the communities in Jos South, all the communities in Barikin Ladi, all the communities in Riyom local government were targeted and killed, massacred.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Now, this then means if they can write a letter to Sultan of Sokoto as a Sarki Muslim, it then means that the Sultan is aware of everything the Muslim community does, either before,
yes,
during, or after.
Yes.
If they can tell him of the chaos they are causing themselves, that both of them are causing unjust, and they are asking Sultan to come and mitigate between both of them, stating that Jamaat to Nasiru Islam supplied them with the weapon in that 2010, it then means that Sultan knows a lot. Because if they can tell him of that, it then means that Sultan is aware of most of the chaos, either before, or during, or after. What am I saying this morning? During the week, a church in Kwara State, a CAC church, a Ruku in Kwara State, the people were worshiping on a Tuesday, I believe, and they were attacked. And children were running, people were running, and they were shooting sporadically. The Fulanis, the bandits, they were shooting. But what took my mind most, that I've not been able to come over, is a very, very old woman. I mean, as you saw that video, there was this old woman. Every time I remember that thing has refused to leave my mind. An old woman, look how she bent, and she was trying to run for safety.
God.
What is the offense of that woman? What crime has she committed? She's not asking for government money. She's not asking for your oil. She's not asking for resources. She just wants to live the remainder of her days serving God. And you came and terrorized her inside the church. Every time I remember that, it has caused me so much heartache. I am traumatized on behalf of that mama. Because I begin to wonder, what if it's my mother? Therefore, I'm sending a message to Sultan of Sokoto today. I'm sending a message to him. If they can write this letter to inform me of the atrocity in 2010, it means there is a lot you know about the killing. And let me tell you this morning, that jihadi mandate that was brought in by Usman Dan Fodio, that you people are trying to Islamize Nigeria, it will never work.
At all.
Nigeria will never be Islamized. I'm saying it again. Nigeria will never be Islamized.
Amen.
Sultan, warn your boys.
On them.
Call your foot soldiers. Call them back home. Because you see, the Hausa Fulani communities in Nigeria, they obey the Sultan much more than the president.
Yes.
When the Sultan give order, they yield to the Sultan more than the president.
Yes.
And there's no way the Sultan will not say he doesn't have an understanding or not most of this thing. The people that are perpetrating this evil.
Yes.
I'm not accusing him of anything, but I'm not also saying he's innocent. We cannot continue like this.
At all.
Every time I remember that thing, even in that time, I remember I watched that thing and I said, oh God, this mama, what is our offense? Children crying here and there. Children being kidnapped from school. Soldiers being killed. If you have an agenda, Sultan, to continue with the mandate of your ancestor, Usman Dan Fodio, to want to bring jihad onto Nigeria, to bring Islamization, just like they did in Lebanon. Lebanon that was once a Christian nation. Just like you did in Turkey. Turkey that was once a Christian nation. Now they are all fully Islamic. If that is what you are planning in Nigeria, to overwhelm Nigeria with so much chaos, so that when we are Islam, we can accept Islam, it will never
At all.
So call your boys.
Call your boys.
I'm not accusing you of anything yet, but I'm not saying you are innocent of the activities. They are Fulanis. They are your people. They will listen to you. They listen to your orders much than they listen to the president of Nigeria. Call your boys back home. Have an understanding today. I repeat, Nigeria will never be Islamized. No matter what you do, jihad will never succeed. We will abolish Sharia in this nation. This is a secular state, not an Islamic state. I don't know what the fathers of faith, the Christian leaders in Nigeria did in the early 2000s, that they allowed them to implement Sharia in 12 northern states in Nigeria, and they kept quiet. The days of those silence is over. We will not be silent.
At all.
Call your boys to order in the bushes where they are. And that man Gumi, the spokesman for the terrorists in this nation, the terrorist sportsman, the ISPA sportsman, the bandit sportsman, call him to action too, because he's under you to Sultan. He's the chief imam of Central Bank in Kaduna. Call him to order. You are the Sulu Sariku Muslim. Call Gumi to order. All those nonsensical negotiations with terrorists must be stopped.
Amen.
If you want to have your jihad, Nigeria would rather divide than be Islamized.
That's it.
We would rather break the way than be Islamized.
That's it.
It will never
At
happen.
all.
Go and practice your jihad and Sharia in create another nation for
That's
yourself in
it.
Arewa.
Simple CBC.
But we will never be Islamized. So call your voice to action.